I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg. More gains for stocks today. Record highs for the NASDAQ and the S&P. The Dow today up 115. The NASDAQ up 87. The S&P up 18.
We've got sunny skies, 71 degrees at 4 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting. I'm Christopher Cruz in Washington. President Trump says Israel and Lebanon have agreed to a ceasefire set to take effect at this hour.
President Trump says he spoke by phone with the leaders of Lebanon and Israel about a 10-day truce.
A great talk with both of them today. They're going to be having a ceasefire, and that'll include Hezbollah.
Iranian-backed Hezbollah militants have been part of the fight with Israel, even as negotiators try to end the war between the U.S. and Iran. The president also says he expects a White House meeting in the next week or so between Lebanon and Israel that will seal the deal. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Hezbollah says it is not a party to the ceasefire. Before the truce took effect, the Israeli army attacked Hezbollah rocket launcher sites after taking fire from southern Lebanon. A 25-year-old man was seriously injured in northern Israel by debris from a rocket. President Trump appears to be trying to drive a wedge between Pope Leo and the pontiff's brother.
This is the real world. It's a nasty world. But as far as the Pope and saying what he wants, he can do that. Now, I know the Pope's brother. He is a big MAGA person. He's got MAGA all over his house. His name is Louis. He's actually a great guy.
In Cameroon today, the Pope made another pointed plea for peace. Police say the former lieutenant governor of Virginia, Justin Fairfax, shot and killed his wife, then turned the gun on himself. Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis.
There's been divorce proceedings that have been ongoing. Former Lieutenant Governor Fairfax was recently served some paperwork associated with an upcoming court proceeding that apparently led to this incident last night.
The couple's teenage son called 911 just after midnight. The House has approved an extension of temporary protections for Haitian immigrants living in the United States. But CBS's Allison Keyes says the legislation is only symbolic.
The House legislation was pushed through by Democrats and a few Republicans over the objections of the GOP leadership. It would require a 3-year extension of temporary protective status for Haitians as their nation is roiled by gang violence. But it faces a tough road in the Senate, and President Trump would almost certainly veto it.
The Supreme Court will soon hear a case that would end the protected status for Haitian and Syrian immigrants. The Artemis II crew is talking about the wonders of space days after their return to Earth from a spin around the moon. NASA astronaut Reed Wiseman.
When the sun eclipsed behind the moon, I think all four of us, I turned to Victor and I said, I don't think humanity has evolved to the point of being able to comprehend what we are looking at right now, because it was otherworldly and it was amazing.
It's the second consecutive record high for the S&P today. This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS 1. This is a slam dunk.
So cute. You came in singing for me today.
Thanks for tuning in. SubX.News, 4:02 p.m. We'll get on to whatever we're going to be doing after we listen to the news. It's April 16, 2026.
Thanks for tuning in and joining us today. I'm Lisa Fielding. We have partly sunny skies, 71 degrees. Clouds and sun today, still a chance for showers and thunderstorms in places. A high in the 70s. We've got some fog forming tonight into tomorrow morning. The AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up at 4:15. First at 4, the city of Chicago closer to taking over the city's Greyhound bus terminal, even as a key alderman raises concerns about the Johnson administration's plan for the property. WBBM political editor Jeff Buchholz has our story.
The owner of the Greyhound terminal on Harrison, south of the Ike, has said it plans to close the building. The city wants to stretch an economic development district 2 blocks so that it can buy the terminal to preserve what the mayor describes as an important resource.
We're creating access for working people, for poor people, for families who are seeking reproductive care.
A city commission this week signed off on the plan for the terminal. It's in Alderman Bill Conway's ward.
His administration produced a total train wreck in front of Planning Commission.
Conway says he's seen no evidence of a public safety or an operational plan.
This is $50 million of taxpayer money, so we really need to make sure that we are doing right by the taxpayers.
The mayor says those plans are coming.
Of course, that work is going to continue.
A vote in city council could happen in the next 2 months. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buchholz, News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
A Hyde Park High School is mourning the loss of yet another student. after a shooting yesterday.
Chicago police say two 16-year-olds, a boy and girl, were standing at a bus stop near 63rd and South Stony Island around 3:30 when gunshots were fired. Both teens were struck and taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center, where Eric Billups was pronounced dead. The 16-year-old girl was shot in the leg. She's expected to be okay. Billups was a student at Hyde Park Academy High School, which has lost two other students to car-related incidents in recent weeks. No arrests have been made in this week's shooting. Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A 58-year-old Riverdale man facing attempted murder charges after allegedly stabbing a coworker. Earlier this week, the Cook County Sheriff's Office responded to a reported fight near Merrimack and Austin. It was in unincorporated Stickney Township. Officers said they found Carlos Williams and a knife in plain view. The victim, a 55-year-old man, had a stab wound to the arm. Today, Judge ordered Williams to wear an electronic monitoring device pending trial. A 65-year-old Geneva man has been placed on electronic monitoring as well after he allegedly poisoned a neighbor's dog.
Vernon Pierce of the 800 block of Manchester Course is alleged to have laced chocolate with what's believed to have been rat poison and placed it in the neighbor's yard because of their barking dogs. One dog ate the stuff, according to a prosecutor, and had to be treated. The dog survived. Charges against Pierce include aggravated cruelty to an animal and poisoning a domestic animal. His attorney, John Kopp, said it would be a crazy notion to think he'd try to poison the dogs. Pierce was also charged with possession of a gun without a firearm owner's identification card. He had 17 guns. Pierce moved to Geneva from Missouri last year to be closer to his child and grandchildren, according to his attorney, and he didn't need a permit there. He said Pierce was not aware he needed a FOID card. The Daily Herald reports he agreed to move in with his adult child. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Concerns about chemicals in the suburbs. The Hinsdale Village Board passes a resolution opposing the use of ethylene oxide, which is used to sterilize medical equipment. This comes after hundreds of cancer cases were linked to ethylene oxide at the Sterigenics plant in Willowbrook, which is now closed. Willowbrook Mayor Frank Trullia spoke at the meeting of the Hinsdale Village Board.
Your grandchildren will thank you, and so will mine, because they can breathe fresh air right now.
The EPA wants to amend Biden-era regulations on ethylene oxide, saying it's the only safe and effective sterilization method available for any medical devices. And today's raining weather is not helping waterlogged plains much as residents continue to watch the river.
Public Works employees fill sandbags under menacing clouds during our visit. Maintenance workers load up a pickup truck again as a preventative measure for their business that sits along the river. One tells us it hasn't flooded there in about 40 years, but they're being cautious. The rushing river has already forced the closure of Campground Road and prompted the city to set up a pump on aptly named River Road to divert water that's threatening to climb over the banks. In Des Plaines, Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
408, traffic and weather together. We're going to talk about whether those folks in Des Plaines have to worry about any more rain in a moment. But first, we're going to check in on the roads now. And here's Neil for your reading.
Well, Lisa, a lot of traffic to worry about still into Joliet on the westbound side of I-80. We're looking at a 6-mile backup, 50 minutes. That's 5-0 of extra traffic you're sitting through to get into Joliet again on I-80 westbound from US 30 to Center. You're at a crawl. Emergency road work been there all day. The right lane still blocked at Center. Use US 30 to avoid the awful backup. Eastbound delays before Larkin and before Briggs, and then it spots from 355 over to I-57. Northwest Indiana traffic on 8094 westbound, central to before Broadway. That's a stalled white van sitting on the left shoulder, and then you're backed up from Grant to Kennedy. There is a Hoosier helper helping along with that stall. Again, westbound 8094 before Broadway. Eastbound traffic on 8094 heavy from Torrance over to Klein. 65 a delay northbound as you approach 8094. On the Indiana Toll Road, we have a big delay eastbound from I-94 to before Willow Creek Road in Portage. That's construction set up in the right lane, and that is planned to be there through next week. As always, we will keep you posted and updated. On the area expressways at Eden's 42 minutes inbound. The Kennedy ends in hour 7, just about an hour out to O'Hare. The express lane still a lot heavier from the Ohio feeder to North Avenue. Earlier crash out of the way there. On the Eisenhower, looks like a new crash coming inbound before Biesterfield. Traffic really starting to jam up from Higgins Road. An hour 20 to get in from I-90. You're 43 in from Manheim. 47 out to Manheim. An hour 20 as you make it out to the Jane Addams Tollway. Metro wants to remind you to avoid awful delays like these in the future. You can pick up a train, the Milwaukee District West Line, available to you out of Schaumburg. From the Metro Traffic Center, next reports 418 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
AccuWeather says for the rest of this afternoon, clouds and sun, still chances for showers and thunderstorms in places, a high of 71. Some fog tonight, a low of 48, and patchy fog to start tomorrow, but a lot warmer with a high of 81. 71 at O'Hare, 58 in Waukegan, 62 Lakefront. Stocks in the green today. The market ticked upward to another record high. The S&P up 18, Dow adds 115, and the Nasdaq had 87. It is 410.
From the leather aspect, leather has a lot of natural characteristics.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
And the leather suppliers, they disclaim, right? This leather is going to have bug bites. It's going to have maybe barbed wire marks, what have you. Branding, there's brands and a lot of the leather that comes from.
Thanks for tuning in. It's SubX.News on the spot reporting. It is 4:10. We might do a little bit more news, WBBM news, and then we'll maybe get on some radio calls, see what's happening in the crime. But as you heard, right? Brandon Johnson wants to run the Greyhound station. Whatever, we should have a station in Chicago. But there's a bigger problem with that. They didn't renew the lease is what they didn't do. The city didn't make the deal with them because they failed the timelines. That's what happened with that. That's what happened with the Greyhound. It wasn't that Greyhound didn't want to be here. It's that the city failed to do its work. So, and now he's deflecting. And I don't know, they're talking about Greyhound and he's talking about reproductive rights. It's kind of wild. Like yesterday's video where he said that restaurants are rooted in slavery. So it's kind of strange that this man is running our city. He probably should be removed. So let's listen to the rest of the news.
Federal program threat and obstruction of justice. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
An owl that's become a bit of a celebrity in Northwest Indiana has died.
We were fortunate enough here in Northwest Indiana to be visited by the snowy owl as she was on her migratory path, hopefully back up north.
Nicole Harmon, director of Humane Indiana Wildlife, is telling us about that snowy owl nicknamed Olive Oil, who has been spotted in the Chesterton area the last few weeks and got a lot of attention on social media, but now the owl has been found dead.
She was found directly underneath electrical wires. The bottoms of both of her feet were severely burned, as was one of her wings.
Harmon says the owl was likely from northern Canada.
So many people who weren't necessarily a birder were able to see her, and hopefully that sparked something, right? Where people are going to be out in our green space a little bit more, or maybe they'll get into birding because of this one individual. So her story certainly doesn't end here, and that's kind of a bright spot to all of this.
Terry Keschner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
4:13, the AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up next.
Shall we? Making breakfast.
How's everybody doing? Hope everybody. It's kind of cool now. Yesterday was a wild, hot day, wasn't it? It's kind of nice today. It's a little sunny. It's got a little bit of breeze. It's 68, so it's. I feel it's a nice day today. So.
Frequency mode.
We're gonna move around. We're gonna see what's going on in downtown today, maybe, right? We were in downtown today, so we're gonna see what's going on. Lots of stuff happening, lots of crime. There was, I think, 4 murders yesterday in Chicago. I think there was 4. I might be mistaken. 3 or 4 murders yesterday, including state police killed somebody. There was a cluster down in Woodlawn. They had the 16-year-old killed. There was another guy killed by cops on I forget, was it Lockwood somewhere maybe? And then there was the big fight with the state police on Evans. It was really bad yesterday in that cluster. I don't know if it was all related or what, but here's the thing. He's talking about reproductive rights in a Greyhound when he's not talking about what? Gangs, guns, and crime. Gangs, guns, and crime. That's what's happening in our city. The reason that that group don't talk about it is because they want to destroy the country. They're the days of rage. Have you ever heard Brandon Johnson mention gangs out of his mouth? Ever? Look at all his videos. All his videos. You can look at the don't demonize videos. They're just silly kids. Look at even the ones where he says it's bad and heinous. He never mentions gangs. Why? Because he works with the gangs. They paid the gangs for votes. This is what Gator Bradley did years ago. They think the gangs are going to get elected and you make... Yeah. You remember that? The tipping culture at restaurants is rooted in slavery. Everybody's seen that video. Then today he said the Greyhound bus station is connected to reproductive rights. He just said it on the radio. We'll listen to the 430 news again. You'll hear the quote. This dude's a maniac. And then think about this. He says all these weird things, but he never says gangs. We got a message from yesterday on Twitter. The guy said the guy's in a gang. That guy that was killed, God rest his soul, no one should die, was in a gang. His initials were part of a gang. Was it? His initials are MK? Murder everyone. That's what that means. I think, right? Where's his initials MK? I don't know what it is. It was murder everyone. That's what the initials mean. And I already have what gang he was in. Someone sent it already to me. He was in a gang. That guy yesterday was in a gang. Does he deserve to die? No. No one deserves to die. No one deserves to be murdered. No one. But we're not talking about that. See, that's the point here. And then it's funny how now... Oh, is it Maniac Killer? Okay. MK. I don't know. It might be, right? I don't know, but his initials are MK, right? Again, he doesn't deserve to die. No one deserves to die. But then, now, the teachers union put out messages through their membership at the school that it was related to a vape pen. This is the union that removed the police officers from the school. Hyde Park used to have police officers. I was there. I worked at Hyde Park. I worked with the police officers. We worked on gang intervention when I was at the school. We worked on it. I know the disciplinarian to this day. I know who he is. Ralph Bennett. I know him very well. You can call him up at the school and say, hey, do you know John Kugler? Hey, Ralph, do you know John Kugler? He'll tell you yes. What did John Kugler ever do over there for crime and gangs and safety? He'll tell you exactly what I've done. Okay? So I know that school very well. We used to have resource officers with guns. SROs. The teachers union removed them from all the schools. That's why we had the double murder at Benito Juarez, too, where my kids went to school. So I worked at a school, and then my kids were also in high school. So this is what I want to say. If you see now, they're talking about what? Vaping. In fact, one other page dedicated a whole section about vaping. Well, wait up. First of all, maybe you can talk about vaping. How do you have a vape pen in a school? Aren't those illegal? How did a kid get a vape pen? You can talk about that. But the bigger question is what we know is a fact that happened is 2 children were at a bus stop after school. At a school bus stop. That's a school bus stop. That's not the YMCA bus stop. That's the school bus stop. We all know that. Anyone who's from Hyde Park High School knows that's the school bus stop, right? And the other guy, who we can't get into custody for some reason, they know who the shooter is because he's a fellow student, somehow had a gun with him after school. So everyone's talking about a vape pen, and they're not talking about gangs in schools, and they're not talking about a student who had a gun. Instead, the focus now is on the vape. Do you understand how the union operates? Why? Because the union runs the city. They run Brandon Johnson. Did Brandon Johnson talk about the crime today? Is there any quotes on the crime today? Did he go to the school? In the old days, in the really old days, that's how old I am. If something like that happened at the school, the next morning, the union president and the mayor would be at the school to reassure the parents and the students that they were taking control. Did you see that today? Did you see any news conferences? Any news conference? Did you see, hey, what's up, Angel? Did you see any news conference from the mayor, the union, the school board, the police that were at Hyde Park Career Academy in the morning with the police, reassuring the students and staff and the parents that their children are safe? Did anyone see that today? I haven't. Have you seen a statement anywhere out there saying we're going to look into this? We don't tolerate gangs and guns in our schools? You didn't see any of that yet. You haven't seen any of that. Why? Because they want it in there. They want the chaos. Because they want to use gangs to destabilize what? Political power. That's all. And for gentrification. Period. They use gangs. It's like in Mexico. It's like in other countries. They use gangs and crime, right? For profiteering. That's the truth. That's the criminals that you have now in City Hall. They're criminals. Trust me. They're not. We're not talking about regular politicians. One, they're not politicians. They're organizers. They don't ever think of Brandon Johnson as a politician, administrator, or someone who believes in anything. He's an organizer. He says it all the time. He has no idea what he's doing. He organizes what? For power. And one of the ways you get power is to create chaos. When you make chaos, people what? Get distracted, right? Like they're talking about the vape. They're talking about a vape instead of a gun. What's worse, a vape pen or a gun? And a teenager with a gun in a school. What's worse? Think about that. That's all distracted here. A teenager had a gun inside of a school. Well, how do you know he had a gun? Well, it was after school. He had a gun and shot 2 other students. So where did he get the gun from? Did he hide it outside in the bushes or something? Do you see where I'm at? We're not stupid. They think you're stupid, but when they distract you, right, with the Greyhounds and Gazas, dildos, transgenders, reproductive rights, those are all distractions. They're not talking about a gang member or 2 gang members that were in the school, and one's dead today because they didn't address that issue. They did not address the issue of a gang member inside of school. I don't even know if they had metal detectors anymore. They used to have metal detectors at Hyde Park. Every morning they used to have metal detectors. Had to go through them. They had stuff coming into the school? No. But it's kind of a little okay, right? That means that they're thinking about safety. There you go. You got cops right there. See that there? They're standing around on their phone. There you go, right? They're standing around on their phone. Did you see that there? They're on their phones. They're standing in a circle on the phone. Didn't you just see that? There we go. There we go. Cops are there and a guy is screaming there. See that there? At the bus stop. Scaring people, right? There you go, man. Screaming at the bus stop, right? There you go. You alright, my brother? Alright, you should be... Go somewhere. Don't scare those people. You're scaring everybody. You're scaring everybody. You're scaring everybody, man. See that? And the cops are right down here. You want me to show you something? Why don't we go do this? He's scaring. You know, there's a guy scaring people at the bus stop right down the street. He's screaming and everybody's scared. He's right there, right down the street, 1 block down. He's at the bus stop. You gonna take care of it? All right. He's screaming right now. Everybody's scared. Then 1 block down, he's screaming. A black guy, he's screaming. He's got some drinks next to him. He's screaming, "God's great," or something like that. And he's screaming, and everybody's scared. They're all off the bus stop. He's sitting down. He's got dreads. He's right there at the bus stop screaming. Everybody's scared. And they're walking slowly over there, right? He's screaming, right? And he's scaring everybody at the bus stop. I don't know. He's drunk, high. Maybe he's just screaming. I don't know. You can scream, I guess, but you can't scream during rush hour, scaring people, right? That's scary, right? He's screaming at the top of his lungs, right? So imagine that. We have people now that change the subject from a kid with a gun in a school to what? A vape pen. That's how it goes, right? And then here, we don't talk about the gangs. There's a guy standing right there. I don't know what he's doing. There's some dude standing right there, man. There's all kinds of stuff happening here. And it's a shame because the city wants to bring back the tourism, but you can't have tourism like that when you have scary stuff happening, right? You can't bring that back because if you have a bad experience, then you're never going to come back, or you're going to stay in your hotel and not spend money, right? So that's the big thing. The reason that kid is dead is because the school board with the union removed the cops. That's the reason he's dead. Period. There's no other reason. Unless they can... Look, you got more cops right there. You got a whole bunch of cops. Look at that. All the cops around here. Why ain't they at the school? I get it. There's crime. And so what? So crime is down. Our city is safe. Yet we have all the cops here. See that? How many cops have we seen? I've seen at least a dozen already. But yet, what? The city is safe. Supposedly the city is safe, right? Isn't that what they're saying? Isn't that what they're saying? Am I mistaken here? I'm making that up. Is SubX.News making it up? Yeah, I don't think I'm making it up, man. If the city is safe, right, you just seen 4 guys there, and 4 guys on the other block, and you got a guy screaming. So what are they doing? They're not preventing the screaming guy, right? Look, there's 3 more right there, and she's got her phone in her hand. Don't you see her with the phone in her hand? That young girl right there? She's got her phone in her hand right there. There's another guy up there, right? Come on, bro, what are you doing? That guy's in the wrong lane, man. That guy was completely, he was coming from here. That Uber guy was coming south on here, and there's cops standing right there laughing. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? There's a guy driving down the wrong direction on the road in downtown, and there's I think it was an Uber guy, and there's a cop standing right there not doing nothing about it. You kind of get it? It's kind of weird, isn't it? So what are they actually physically doing? So what are the cops physically doing? Are they doing cop job, or are they just standing around? Scarecrowing, right? That's what's called, scarecrow policing. I'm looking at... Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you, that kind of, the school shootings, I don't like them because those are young people getting shot. Let's listen to the news, right? I think this is the weather and the traffic.
Northbound jam-packed from the Jane Addams to Northwest Highway, and southbound is heavy. Ran down at Algonquin Road. You have ongoing construction in the right lane on both sides. I-80 continues to struggle westbound before US 30 to center. That's a 7-mile backup into the work zone. Emergency roadwork in the right lane at center. You may want to use US 30 to stay away. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report, 438, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
We've got partly sunny skies now, 71 degrees at 429.
I wanted to renovate my kitchen and bathroom, but couldn't afford a huge project. Thankfully,
Look,
Studio 41 had affordable fixtures
we shouldn't
that
be
totally renovated my space at a great price. Visit Studio 41.
blaming people is one thing. Again, what are we talking about? Accountability, consequences, and what? Deterrence. That's the last part. Right now, who's accountable for that shooting? They want to say it's a vape pen when it was actually a gun. That's the first thing. So now we know we have a bad government, right? When they say it's a vape pen instead of the gun. So what are the consequences going to be? None. Because we didn't hear no news media or no video of the cops and the police and whatever else at the school this morning. There's no consequences. So 3, there's no deterrence. All 3 failed in this case of a kid being killed. I know what happens when kids get killed during school days, right? I was part of that kind of environment, right? Because I was on safety committees, I filed grievances, I filed complaints, and I was part of safety at that school. I was part of the safety issues at Hyde Park. So I know what happens when things happen, right? I know exactly how it should operate. And none of that happened today. None happened today. None happened. 4:30 News. And let's listen to what Brandon Johnson has to say.
In business.
More gains for Wall Street today. The Dow up 115 points, but the NASDAQ was up 87, closing at a fresh record high. The S&P up 18, also at a new all-time high. I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg.
Partly sunny, 71 degrees. The news continues now at 4:31. We first told you about that execution cell murder of a bar owner back in February. Now it appears that federal authorities are now taking over the case. The latest from WBBM's Andy Dane.
47-year-old Julius Burks is charged with murder, robbery, and possession of a firearm as a felon. The death of Courtney Drysdale. Prosecutors have said the 30-year-old was found dead in the Moments bar she owned near the Illinois-Indiana state line back on February 2nd. Burks' case is now being moved out of Kankakee County Court to the federal level. State's Attorney Jim Rose says in a statement the move, quote, reflects a commitment to ensuring the case proceeds in the most appropriate forum and allows for the full range of penalties available under federal law, including the possibility of the death penalty.
There you go. There you go.
And police and U.S. Marshals have arrested a man for attempted murder for a shooting in the Loop last month.
Chicago police say Jaquel Hayes was identified as the person who shot a 31-year-old man for confronting him for shoplifting. Police and members of the Fugitive Task Force arrested 30-year-old Hayes at his home in Oak Lawn on Tuesday. They accuse him of shooting the man multiple times outside a convenience store near Clark and Adams at about 11:45 on a Friday morning last month, leaving the man seriously wounded. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, as President Trump and Pope Leo continue to feud, New Lenox police are investigating a bomb threat that involved the home of Pope Leo's brother.
Police responded to the home where John Prevost lives on Sojourn Road at about 6:30 p.m. Neighboring homes were evacuated. Specialized units, including an explosive detecting canine, were brought to the scene. After police conducted what they say was a thorough search of the residence, it was determined the threat was unsubstantiated. A statement from police says they're working to identify the person who made the threat. It says making false reports of this nature is a serious offense and may result in criminal charges. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Restaurant and bar workers in Chicago still in line for a raise in their minimum wage this summer. However, a proposal that could freeze those wages is on the table now at the state capitol.
I haven't gotten involved in that conversation.
But the governor told reporters after an event in the Loop that he's watching the discussion in Springfield about a proposal that would take away cities' abilities to eliminate their so-called tipped minimum wage for hospitality workers. Chicago's in the middle of a 5-year plan to phase out the sub-minimum wage. An attempt to freeze that fell short at City Hall this week. The governor says the state's role now is one of enforcement.
The challenge for people who are living with a tip wage as a minimum is whether or not they're actually reaching the minimum wage and beyond.
And he says his administration is committed to enforcing the state's laws against wage theft. The restaurant industry supports the wage bill sponsored by Chicago State House Democrat Curtis Tarver. The governor says the two have not talked about it.
I'll certainly consider if it gets to my desk.
We're in the Loop. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
4:34 around the world now. President Trump says the U.S. and Iran are close to making a deal to end the war.
The president depicts the talks in a positive light.
I think we have a very successful negotiation going on right now. And I think it'll be, if it happens, it'll be announced fairly soon.
Specifically, he says Iran has agreed to this key point.
They will not have nuclear weapons.
In addition, Trump says Iran has agreed to hand over its enriched uranium.
They've agreed to give us back the nuclear dust that's way underground because of the attack we made with the B-2 bombers.
But the president also said if there is no deal, fighting will resume. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
At the same time, President Trump shared an update on another set of peace talks. He says the 10-day ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon will include Hezbollah.
Hezbollah has said it wouldn't abide by any agreement worked out by Lebanon and Israel. A UN spokesman was asked what the Secretary General's advice would be.
To abide by the ceasefire.
Many Israelis are skeptical Hezbollah will be reined in.
It never ends. We have to finish it right now.
Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu calls it a historic opportunity.
יש לנו הזדמנות לעשות הסכם שלום היסטורי עם לבנון.
Lebanon has insisted on the ceasefire to stop the fighting between Israel and Hezbollah while vowing to commit to disarming the group. Cami McCormick, CBS News.
And a federal commission has approved the design concept for President Trump's vision for an arch at the entrance to the nation's capital.
The 250-foot-tall arch will stand between the Lincoln Memorial and Arlington National Cemetery, featuring a winged Lady Liberty at the top with a torch, along with golden eagles and lions. It's among several projects underway as the president seeks to leave a lasting imprint on the district. Trump's arts commissioner, Rodney Mims Cook Jr., says D.C. needs 3 arches, not just one. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
Normandy Design Build Remodeling combines design, blueprints, and construction for your new kitchen or home addition, giving you a single point of contact for your remodel. Learn how everything under one roof makes your remodel easier at normandyremodeling.com.
Is life insurance on your list of New Year's resolutions? Now is the perfect time to add it. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40 and her $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280.
So just what you just seen today. We've seen at least 12 police officers standing around. Yet there's a guy sitting at a CTA bus stop screaming, scaring people. So what are the police there doing? Why are the police there? Why are the police on Michigan Avenue? Are they there for what? For looks? Scarecrowing? That's scarecrow policing when they put a cop there, right? Or a police car or something like that. But they're not enforcing anything. It's kind of strange, isn't it? Who's doing the? Who actually tells these cops what they should be doing? What kind of training? Have we audited these cops' training manuals? Maybe we need to get an audit of their training manual, right? Maybe that's what I should do. A FOIA request of the Chicago Police Department's training manuals. Why? What are they teaching them? Are they teaching them not to be confrontational? Is that what they're doing? Are they teaching them that when someone looks aggressive and violent, that they should not do anything about it? Is that what they're teaching them? Kind of strange, isn't it? When somebody's violent on a city street during rush hour in a downtown, you probably should talk to them. Calm them down, buy them a coffee, buy them a tea. Look, I'm not about beating people up. I ain't telling, did I tell those guys to arrest him? I said, there's a guy scaring people down there. You should go talk to him. You buy him a coffee, buy him a bus ticket, walk around, see what he needs, right? There's just because people say the police should do their job, that don't mean police should harm people. Whoever says that? You know, that's the liberal, brainwashed way of thinking. They think because people want to live in peace, If people don't want violence, that they are somehow want to violate people's rights, want to harm people. Remember, the people in power today are influenced by Bill Ayers. Bill Ayers believes in the days of rage. He wants to destroy our society. He wants to destroy Chicago. He has a grievance against Chicago from the days of rage. He's directly connected to Brandon Johnson. He's directly connected to the teachers union. That's why they pulled the police out. That's why you see the gangs running rampant. That's why you see drug dealing. Like you seen drugs and drug dealing yesterday next to police. Today you seen a guy screaming while there was police present, right? You seen people attacking the police yesterday. Have you seen any statements from the mayor? Aurelio's Pizza closed. That's Aurelio's Pizza. Used to be. I like their, I used to love their thin crust. I used to get it from here. It's closed. It's closed. Sip and Savor closed. The dry cleaner closed. You can't have crime and business. You can't have the two. And as you have less business, you're going to have more crime because there's less work. It's a spiral downwards. It's what people call a doom loop. That's what it is. You can't get out of it. The only way to get out of it is to stop it. Stop crime, arrest some people, clean up graffiti, clean up your potholes, right? Spend money. Spend some money on jobs. Spend some money giving people work. Yes, that's what you spend your money on, right? That's how you fix the thing. Let's see if they're dealing drugs today out there, right? No, doesn't seem like. Looks like it's cleaned up out there. Drug addicts out here, that's for sure. And there's some people dealing out here. They're dealing out here. They're dealing. They're drug dealing. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of people out there. See that there? There you go. They're out there. There's a bunch of people out here. The cop station's right there. That's the Cook County Sheriff's Department. When they're not here, they come back. You see, there's a bunch of people sitting around here. I don't know if they're drug dealing or not. There might be not drug dealing. There's a few sheriffs right there. There's the sheriff right there, man. Don't you see that? Don't forget, crime is down, though. But we need a special substation of sheriffs in downtown, right? See all the sheriff's cars here? Look at that. Look at all the sheriff's cars. But crime is down. Don't forget, crime is down. That's what they keep telling us, right? See all the sheriff's cars? It's quite a bit of sheriff's cars, ain't it? Yeah. If crime is down, you don't need cops. Correct? Alright, let's go check out what's going on State Street, right? Let's put on some radio calls so you don't have to listen to me jibber jabber.
Frequency mode.
Let's go see what's happening on State Street. Yeah, no talk of guns and gangs in the school. That's the big red flag. I want to go check out this really deep pothole. That's what I want to do. What's up, Jason? This is a really deep pothole. I want to go check it out. That's what I'm going to go do right now. It's like a super pothole. It's a super pothole. What are you doing, my brother? And what's up, Angel? Thanks for saying it. Me and Angel go back a long time. We know each other through raising our children together. So I know I've been a parent in Chicago, I've been a teacher in Chicago, and now I'm a reporter in Chicago. I've been a reporter for almost 20 years. I was going to write an article this morning, but then I stopped because I was too emotional. I'll probably put it up tomorrow, Friday or something like that. I don't know yet. I was really emotional because I understand the dynamics down in Hyde Park because I was a teacher down there, right? I know that area very well. and a student dying, and I'm a former teacher there, you kind of, you think about it. That's your student, right? You always do. So I'm going to write up an article maybe over the weekend or something about my experience and what should be done. You've already heard parts of the article today. As I talk, I write my articles. That's how I do it. So you heard what I said. The big thing is, if you didn't see a statement from the mayor, if you don't see a press conference, then that means they don't care about that student's death. That's clear. It's clear. That should be the front page. It should be on every newscast today. The mayor should have been out there in the morning with the teachers union president. That's how that goes. And say, we do not tolerate this. We're gonna prosecute to the fullest extent of the law. They know that the other guy's a student there. They know the shooter, but yeah, he's not in custody. Kind of strange, isn't it? It's another store closed there. Weird, right? So how do you know who the shooter is? You know he's a student, but he's not in custody. Yeah, see, you got to listen to some of those things. All right, let's listen to some radio calls, all right? So I'm talking a little bit. What's up, my brother? What are you doing? Oh, the weather's a little better right now. It's a little cooler, so. Yeah, the student killings get me. I don't like that. I can't get over that stuff. It really messes with my head. So that's why I calmed down last night. I stayed up late. I did a couple of articles, and then I didn't publish that one. I had it almost done, and I stopped because I want to do a little better job on that one. I put a few pieces out there about the union removing the cops from the schools and all of that. But I think the bigger thing that we need to start discussing in our city is gangs and the drug problem. And we're not discussing that, right?
Yeah, can I get a note for a bus route from 79th and Horn, bound bus 8076?
Ready? It is 09412.
So otherwise, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, Jason. I appreciate that. I hope everybody's doing good. Make sure you take care of yourselves and watch out for your family members, right? Especially the young ones. I always tell people who have their kids in schools, if you're a grandma, grandpa, if you're a father or mother, this is what we need to start doing. Grandparents, help your children. I know, look, you can leave your family to be independent. You just give them a little hand. Look at all those potholes there. See that there? Let's see if we can go over here, right? Let's go see if there's any crime going on in the park here. The 7-Eleven here because of drugs. What's up, Juan? How's that Texas doing? Is it all right? Now they're dealing drugs across the street. They closed down the 7-Eleven.
Yep, it is 09432. Thank you. Here.
Everybody knows they closed down the 7-Eleven. That's the gang members are coming here. This is a gang corner right there. They closed down the 7-Eleven because of drug dealing, right? Drug dealing and crime. This is a 7-Eleven for many years. It's gone, man. It ain't gonna be there. You just heard on the radio they finally caught that guy who shot the other guy, and he's in Oak Lawn. I have to read up on that case, right? The guy at the 7-Eleven, other 7-Eleven, Adams and Wells, right? Yeah, gang banging right here, right now. I'll go around the corner here. I'll show you. They're gang banging right here. They're gang banging in the middle of downtown. I'll show you. Let's see if I can go this way. They're gang banging there. Because they sell drugs. They made millions of dollars there from the migrants. So the black gangs were selling millions of dollars in drugs to the migrants. The migrants were getting $1,000 a month in EBTs or so. So imagine you had almost 2,000 migrants right over there. If they all got $1,000 a month or even $500 a month, imagine how much money that was every month in drug sales. Right? That was a lot. They were making a ton. Maybe $1 million a month. Maybe not. But they were making at least a couple of 100,000. Show you them gang banging over there, right? Right in the middle of rush hour traffic. Gang banging. Then I might show you that deep pothole, right? It's getting deeper and deeper. Overdose, most likely, right there. See, they always have somebody. Every convenience store has somebody in front of it. Everyone in Chicago. See that? They all have the guy posted up in front of a convenience store. See, they're gang banging right here. I like the park right there, and then you can watch them, right? There you go. We're gonna sit here. I'll show you that. You wanna see that? Girl murdered here, right? Did you know that? There they go. They're going doing their wilding, man. They're on their way right there. They're going on their way. And you got that group right there. Come on. They're selling there. They're selling drugs right there, right? That's what they're doing right there. They're dealing drugs. Closed down the coffee shop. Closed down the 7-Eleven. How many more stores can we handle that they're closing here in downtown Chicago? How many businesses can we destroy because of pro-criminal, pro-drugs, pro-gang policies? There you go. They're right there. They're sitting there. Blowing smoke. As you walk by, they blow smoke in your faces. I got video of them blowing smoke into people's faces, right? Get lucky and see a drug deal. You might not. Get out and tell them to move around. Yeah, why don't you do that? Why don't you do that? Why don't you come on down there? You got a big mouth, don't you? That's a Hispanic guy there next to the e-bike. He had all tattoos on his neck and face. So what you're watching is drug dealing in downtown. Open air drug dealing. They're dealing drugs here all the time. They closed down the 7-Eleven, right? See that there? They're gonna shut down that Subway next. They're in that in the Taco Bell down the street too. Yeah, today it's a little cooler. Yesterday it was horrible. One.
Frequency mode.
Look, what did I say? There's a park there. They can hang out in the park. There's drug fair for booze bottles in the park, but they don't. What did I show you guys yesterday? Where was I yesterday? On the beach. I said, why aren't the teenagers on the beaches, right? Why aren't they here? Why? Because they're selling drugs on street corners. That's why. And nobody's doing nothing about it, right? There is no jobs program. There's no work for these young men. Did that guy make a drug deal there? There you go. I told you might see a drug deal, right? You might. I told you might see a drug deal, right? Didn't I? I'm gonna try to get you some radio calls. Let's see what's going on the police radio, right? We'll go back. We'll see what that's about.
All right, 3211, are you clear to copy? Yeah, just walked back to my car. What's up? All right, Mr. Hunter has got a valid Indiana license. I'm sorry, correction on that. A regular ID card out of Indiana, a suspended Indiana driver's license, a suspended Illinois license, and he has a warrant for DUI out of DuPage County. It will be good here in Cook County. I got 471 en route to back you up and give you a transport.
Okay, that's going to be a good arrest then. It's going to be 7940, let's say 7948 south Chicago Skyway outbound, I guess, for the arrest. They're coming back me up.
All right, 10-4. 10-5,
Yes, can we get a...
45, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Could I get two from you? One for Chicago main branch, one for Chicago lock.
You got it. Lockster 08923. 08923. And main branch is 08925. 08925.
10-4, thank you.
Nope.
7386.
787.
That's quality and a number for Chicago have a red line.
Yep, that is 08933. 3215.
3215.
Hey, just that info northbound of Foster for the tire in the middle of the road. Nothing further.
99. 383 George.
7 George.
The VIN number of a bus is 1172 going westbound on Cosner Roosevelt.
Yep, that is 08946.
7393 Adam.
7393 Adam.
David again, that's our number for Cermak Road.
Yeah, that'll give you 08953.
7387 Adam.
787 Adam.
If you would, platform at O'Hare Bull.
Yep, that is 08979.
7386 David.
There we go. So we're going to get out of here.
Red line check, Chicago stop.
Yep, that's 08984. 08984.
7383 Adam.
787.
Negative is that for red line 95th Street.
Yep, that is 08994.
I'm gonna go show you guys this super deep pothole. We're gonna do pothole
11
patrol.
Citywide, person with a knife, 3811 West Lake, 3811 West Lake. It's in the alley, color reporting on male black, flashing on a blue t-shirt, threatening the caller with a knife. No further information. No time clear.
Let's go. Oh, we didn't do State Street yet, so we gotta go around and do State Street, right?
75 on Citywide.
Yeah, 5, go ahead.
Clark, I get another one from you for the Vietnam Memorial, please.
Sure. That is 09006. 09006.
See, they're running around with those electric bicycles. And they go doing all kinds of mayhem, man. Watch yourselves.
3211. Give me a timestamp for one in custody.
3211, one in custody at 16:15 hours. And was that 7383 David maybe coming in?
1045. Can we get a VIN number check for Garfield Red Line platform?
Yep, that is 09015.
What beat is also in custody?
3211 has one in custody on the Skyway.
7380 Adam.
7380 Adam.
Can I get the VIN number for the Blue Line platform check over here on Western, please?
Okay, that is 09040.
10-4, thank you, Twilight.
Yep.
7383, boy.
783, boy.
Can we get the number for CCA Tech 79?
Yep, that is 09049.
Marine 3.
M3, go ahead.
Can I get a number for Montrose Harbor, please?
Sure. That is 09094. 09094.
George.
780 George.
Get a VIN number for bus 1116 heading westbound on Cicero.
Okay, that is 09114.
Boy.
786, boy.
Is that number for premise check? Red Line? Jackson?
Yep, that is 09138.
Well, thank you.
Let's keep moving, right?
3211.
Okay, I think that's 434. Transporting in, I'm following that.
Alright, 10-4, it's 1626.
Look at all those streets, how they look.
Pick up that truck. Skyway personnel are going to stay with it.
Okay, very good.
3212.
3212.
Let me go to the annex, switch on radio.
Alright, 4.
Charlie.
7 minutes, Charlie.
Take it through Charlie. Spin over for 69 and Red Line.
Yep, it is 09187.
boy.
788, boy.
Can you give me that number for the Blue Line Medical District?
Sure, it is 09211.
7383 George.
780 George.
Get a VIN number for bus 8104 on westbound on Laramie and Roosevelt.
Okay, it is 09221. Seven 353. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Can I get event for Howard, please?
Absolutely. It is 09237.
3211.
3211.
You arrived in 4th District for this process.
All right, 1633.
And Unison 6, we have a person shot at 7832 South Eberhart. 7832 South Eberhart. Coming in as details to follow. Right now, all we have is that it is a person shot. Caller states 15 shots went off. Fires en route. A black Honda sped away northbound on Eberhart. No threats there. 78 Station 6.
What was that? 78. What was the number there, guys? Did you guys get the number there? I need your help.
736. 736. Yes, so I'm getting a number for Clark and Fleet Red Line. Yep, that is 09261.
What was the number on that one? 7832 South Everhart, right?
7383 at work.
783 ready?
Well, can I get a event number 47 for the red line?
You got it. That is 09268.
Why?
Here we go. 7386 David. 786 David. Numbers for a red line check at Chicago. Yep, that is 09274. Ready to 11. Ready to 11. You arrived in 4th District for this process. Alright, 1633.
624 and units and 6, we have a person shot at 7832 South Everhart. 7832 South Everhart. Coming in as details to follow. Right now, all we have is a person shot. Caller states 15 shots went off. Fires en route. A black Honda sped away northbound on Everhart. No further. Zone 8 station clear.
736. 736. Yes, so I'm getting a number for Clark and Fleet Red Line. Yep, that is 09261.
7383 at work.
783 ready?
Well, can I get a event number 47 for the red line?
You got it. That is 09268.
Why?
Here we go. 7386 David. 786 David.
You can smell the weed out
Numbers
here.
for a red line check at Chicago.
I can smell the weed.
Yep, that is
So think about this.
09274.
So think about this. You got all these cops around here, but they don't do nothing about the weed smoking.
Getting that number for red line 95th Street.
Kind of get it? So again, what was the question earlier? What are the cops actually doing out there? What's their job?
783 boy. 783 boy.
Because they're not stopping the crime.
Yep, it is 09288. 3380 Adam. 788 Adam. Supposed to get a check with the Blue Line, Illinois Medical District. Okay, that is 09297.
I'm going to go check out that shooting.
788 David. Yes, I can get a Garfield red line check. Yep, it is 09303.
33.
73, go ahead.
Can I please get a number for Jardine?
Sure, that is 09305. 09305.
624 units and 6, we have a person with a gun at 79th and Vincent. At 79th and Vincent. Caller states that her daughter was being followed by a man. As they were walking down the street, they were following. He pointed a gun at her. She ran. She's seen him in the neighborhood before. Male black, late 40s, wearing a brown hat and a black or dark blue sedan. No further info. Zone 8 station clear. For the units and 1 on the citywide, a person with a knife at the corner of Financial Place and Polk and Financial Place. Person with a knife in her hand on the corner. Female black, mid-40s, purple wig, nothing further is on further.
4712.
It's right here.
4712, sir.
Good afternoon, squad. Hold me down at the Sox game, please.
Sad.
Units and 3 units on the citywide, to go to auto death in progress. 6915 South Calumet, 6915 South Calumet. 2 male blacks with dreads wearing gray clothing are actively stealing a gray Sprinter at that location. Nothing further. 3rd District, Zone 57 stations clear.
Seven Adam.
787 Adam.
You want Rosemont in the booth, please?
Sure. It is 09365.
215.
Financial and Polka's right here.
Yeah, 19 fall. I was able to kick it off to the side.
Alright, very good.
397 Charlie.
97 Charlie.
Street stop, Parkway 3. 7383
Frank.
Yeah, can I get a message from 79th and Horn, eastbound, bus 8076?
Ready? It is 09412.
7387 Adam.
787 Adam.
Cumberland and the Blue Line platform, please.
Alrighty. It is 09425.
We're gonna go check out this lady with a knife first, because that's right here.
786 Adam, good.
VIN number for red line.
They're all hanging here. There's a whole bunch of people hanging right
It
here.
is 09432.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We gotta check out this lady with a knife call. It's right over here.
For Blue Line Cicero.
Yep, it'll give you 09504.
7386 boy.
786 boy.
Please have an event number for premise check. Jackson Red.
My phone is wild. It's not showing me the right GPS.
35.
Lord, thank you.
I know exactly where I have to go. Financials right here.
David.
782 David.
Yes, can we get a car field red light check?
Yep, it is 09551.
$7383 boy.
782 boy.
So can I get an event number for 79th red light check, please?
Yep, it's 09564.
7388 boy.
788 boy.
Can you give me the number for the Blue Line Cicero?
The lady's blocking half the road there.
09567.
Whatever. That's how life goes.
738.
Police right in front of me, right there. They're blocking the road right there.
Red light check at the Chicago stop.
Right there. Don't you see that? It's all taped off.
Yeah, that is
Right here. It's right in front of us. Don't you see that? There's a crime scene right here already. Right there. Something just happened.
7383 Adam.
783 Adam.
SubX.News.
Red line 95th Street.
Yep, that is 095.
There's a crime scene right here. Oh, there's a bad accident or something. What is that? I don't know what's going on there. Hydrant broken.
7388.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. They got a crime scene tape right there.
Sister on the Blue Line, please.
Okay, that'll give you 09608.
Let's see what's going on. We'll put it on Citizen.
7383 Frank.
78 Frank.
Yeah, bus route 79th and Ashland eastbound, bus 8151.
Okay, that'll be 09615.
Maybe we'll go out and check it out and see what's going on.
411 units in Foreign Citywide, a person with a gun, 7931 South Kimbark. Domestic related for a male named Eric that has a gun, is intoxicated. Today they pushed someone down the stairs, I think for the District 14 zone there.
SubX.News on the spot reporting here. We're at Van Buren and Wells. We have the streets blocked off. We don't know if there's a fire going on or what, because we have fire trucks over here, right? But the whole street is taped off. You see that there? Maybe we'll park the car real quick. And we'll try to... see what's going on here, right? See that? That's all. Roped off, right? Let's go over there and let's see what's going on. I'm thinking I should park right over there. I should go around the block, maybe. And park right in front of that car there, but I might get a ticket over there. We'll go right here. We'll walk over there. We're gonna go see what's going on. How about that? Is that all right with everybody? Let's go see what's going on over here. Looks like some kind of fire or something, maybe. I don't know what it is here. Let's go see.
Sure. That is 09684. 09684.
Like some kind of fire response here, right? Downtown Chicago. Alright, you got lots of stores closed, right? You got this whole block store. You got those stores closed, right? Washing the street or something. Gotta figure out if there's a crime over here, right? Car accident? Yeah, they got duct tape on for the number. You see that there? How many times did they change that number? They got duct tape there. The temporary truck. There you go. Car accident, maybe? Blood? I have to figure this out, right? I don't know. I have to get on the radio calls, right? So they got this whole section taped off here for some reason. I don't know, maybe they had a chemical spill? Chemicals, they usually don't use water, right? There you go, right? See that there? Strange, ain't it? I don't see no debris. He's pointing to stuff down there, right? Look out for stuff. Stuff fall off the building there. Oil. This rubbing stuff is weird, huh? See that there? Let me see if I can find out about this guy. Maybe a car crash? What'd they have, a car crash here?
No, somebody jumped off that building.
Oh, sorry to hear that. He says somebody jumped off the building. Somebody jumped off the building. They're washing off the blood. Be safe. Thank you, my brother. You be safe, all right? Yeah, that's what they're washing off over there. So you just heard it here. Somebody jumped off that building there. And they're washing off the blood right there. That's what they're washing off, the blood there. There you go. SubX.News on the spot report. Be safe. That's what they're doing. So I was wondering what they were scraping off, right? So you're at the scene of somebody jumping off this building here. There you go. Somebody passed away here. God rest their soul. SubX.News on the spot reporting. Downtown Chicago. Scene of a suicide. It's 5:20 p.m. We don't know when it happened, but that's what they're washing off. They're washing the whatever is left of the person, right? SubX is on the spot report. You're the scene of a suicide here. Somebody jumped off this building. So they're washing away all the blood and whatever it is out there. So I was wondering, he was showing, so now they're going to open the sewer, so they have to put all that junk in the, sorry to say that, I didn't mean junk. Whatever is left of the body or whatever, they have to open the sewer there and get it down into the system. See that there? Again, you're to see body parts and they're cleaning up that stuff. That's what they're here doing. Chicago.
7387 boy. 787 boy. Get a number for the Logan Park Blue Line station, please. Yep. It is 09.
No, I'm the news media. So yeah, they're cleaning off all the edges there. See that there? Scene of a suicide. SubX.News on the spot reporting here. Yeah, somebody jumped off the building. Yeah, that's what they're washing off right there. They died. So they're SubX.News on the spot reporting somebody committed suicide. They jumped off of this building here, downtown Chicago. We're at Franklin and Van Buren, and they're washing off the body parts there, right, into the sewer system. See that there? So this is a suicide here. That's what you're, so they washed it down the sewer there, right? SubX.News on the spot reporting. Scene of a suicide, downtown Chicago. There's a lot of these. I was tracking them a little while ago. There was a lot of them, but there's maybe at least one or two a month. I know that. So it looks like they're about done here, right? Again, someone jumped off of that building, they say, right there. Oh, there is building right there. SubX.News on the spot reporting. Suicide downtown Chicago. Again, for Citizen app, people just tuning in, this is a scene of a suicide. The fire department is cleaning off the street. So they were scrubbing it right there. So the person jumped off of that building right here. They jumped off. It looks like they hit somewhere right there, and they washed it down the sewer over there. We're at Van Buren. We're on Van Buren. We're in between Wells and Franklin. God rest their soul.
Was there a fire?
Huh?
Was there a fire?
No, somebody committed suicide.
What?
Huh? Yeah, they just washed off the body parts right there.
Oh,
Jumped from that building there. Yeah, be safe. So I was wondering, right, why all the tape was here and the police, right? There we go. Alrighty, we're gonna get out of here. There's a shooting down on 78th and Eberhard. That's where we're going to. There we go. That's where we're at. Again, scene of a suicide here.
There's a fellow Hispanic wearing a black sweater, white pants, white shoes, and his shoes, please. Or the night.
And let me take a few shots here. I gotta take a few shots.
Yep, that is 09886. 09886. 09886.
Alright, I'll just have to take screenshots then. My other phone ain't working. So it is what it is. So they're cleaned up over here. Again, scene of a suicide here. Downtown Chicago. A lot of stores empty here. There you go. So it looks like that's happening over there in that building there. Getting the scene of a suicide here in downtown Chicago.
Yeah, Charlie, yours is 09917.
That guy's just went through the red light there, man. Gotta watch, man. Stuff happens every day, man. You gotta be careful. There you go. For the Citizen app users, that was the scene of a suicide. And firefighters were cleaning off the street.
47 Can I get a number for a special attention 1 in 18, please? Yeah, boy. Yep, this is 09939.
suicide downtown Chicago on Van Buren between Wells and Franklin. Someone jumped off a building. Jumped off a building. Yeah. There's all kinds of things that happen in a city every single day. We need to take care of ourselves and take care of each other. And that's what I kind of talked about earlier. We shouldn't be lying about it either. If there's a drug issue, there's a drug issue. If it's a gang issue, it's a gang issue. But we need to be honest. And when we're not honest, and especially we have our government that's not honest, then that's when we're actually really in trouble. Because then how can we fix the things that we have to fix, right? What happened here? Who knows what happened? We don't know. There's so many suicides that's happening in the city. We don't even know what each one of them were about. Were they about drugs? Were they about relationships? All of those things. You can say, well, that's none of our business. Well, it is our business when it affects the public, right? This affects the public, right? So it is our business. And secondly, we should be concerned about everything. It's not about being nosy. It's about what's going on, right, in our society. Is there something bigger going on that we don't know about, right? Right. It's about information. And Elon Musk understands this. There's a concept called radical transparency. That's kind of how I do my stuff. And you see a lot of my things. That's the way I operate, right? Radical transparency. You know what I'm doing. If I want to be secret and don't want you guys to know something, then I don't do it. You won't know about it, right? But if I'm out in the public, I usually put stuff that I'm out in the public, right? That way you know what's going on. You guys back me up. All of those kinds of things, right? It helps each other. When we know what's going on and we can watch each other's backs, that's what we should be doing as a society. Not ignoring, playing, tricking, scapegoating, right? Right? When you don't tell the truth, when you say it was a vape pen and not a pistol that killed a kid at his high school yesterday, dismissal, then that's the problems you have, right? Then how are you ever going to solve the original problem, right? Whatever this person had, right? Where are we going to go? We're going to go to that shooting down on Eberhart. Is that what we're going to go do? What time is it? 5:30. All right, here, this is what you got. All right. Let's put this baby right there. Say a little prayer for that person. Hopefully whatever demons they were dealing with are now resolved, right? Hopefully they're in a better place. Keep moving, all right?
Frequency mode.
I guess we won't go to that knife call, right? There's a lady with a knife down the street, right?
14 southeast.
Alright.
383 boys.
783 boy.
We're getting the event number for the 79th red line.
Yep, it is 09825.
2383 at work.
783. The EMS, if you need it, is 09652.
Yep,
that is 10007. 787 boy.
Get a number for the
Yep. Yep, it is 09843.
For units at 19 on the Citywide coverage trespass in progress, 841 West on Irving Park, 841 West Irving Park, come to the BP gas station. There's a male Hispanic wearing a gray and black sweater, white pants, white shoes, and
platform check at the western blue line, please.
Okay, it is 10014. Yep, it is 09886.
You see the bike lane don't work.
09886.
You see the bike lane don't work, right? It's not designed right. Did you just see that, right? So he's outside of the bike lane. You just seen that, everybody, right? Everybody just seen that. He was outside of the bike lane. They're not designed right. Right?
7391 Charlie. Can we get one as well?
Yeah, Charlie, yours is 09917.
4712.
4712.
That's fine. Can I get a number for the personal attendant 118, please?
Get a number for the 78 seconds 79. Yep, it's 10034. Hey, boy.
Can I get an event number for blue line?
Yep, it is 09939.
for the units at 19 on the Citywide assault in progress at Jewel 4250 North Lincoln, 4650 North Lincoln. There's a male black with a black blue rag, camouflage hoodie, carrying a black book bag, sitting across the street, yelling threats to the employees. No weapons in the same 19th District Zone 2.
73 David.
73 David.
That's how can we get an event number for Garfield line check?
Yep, that is 09948.
380 Adam.
788 Adam.
Here's Squad. Can I get a platform checker, line, please?
Yep, it is 09957.
Four
4744.
I have an out check on the pink line, Kedzie.
10.
380 Adam.
788 Adam.
Platform check at the western blue line, please.
Okay, it is 10014.
374.
374.
Can I get another number for 35th and the rest?
Yep, that's 10025.
10-4. 383 boys.
Anderson 11 and Citywide, I got out of Central Progress, Madison and Western. Caller said they followed a car that was stolen. The car was stolen during a delivery that a girl was doing, a gray Honda unknown plate. It's nothing further. District 11 is on scene.
Auto theft in progress, Madison and West End.
Still a pair of pants. Come out the store and then say she don't want them bitch. I'm out there, I hope they lock your dumb ass up just for that shit. Yeah. That shit lame as hell.
Anderson 11 and 51, I got out of Central Progress, Madison and West Strand. Caller says they followed a car that was stolen. The car was stolen during a delivery that a girl was doing, a gray Honda, unknown plate.
Western.
It's nothing further. District 11 is on me.
He's arguing with his lady on the bus stop. It happens every day, every place. You know, look at that thing I put about the teachers union removing the police. They said they're going to remove the police, save all that money, and they're going to put it in the social workers. Well, did that prevent yesterday's shooting of a student? Absolutely not. In fact, they're making excuses now that, like I said earlier, that it's a vape pen. Well, do you have a vape program in the school? Anti-smoking program? Here. When I used to work at Hyde Park, I'll tell you this story.